Hi, my name's Mel. I work for the International Travel College of New Zealand. Today I'm going to go through an assessment with you. This is our Ecotourism Unit Standard. The unit is 30906 and it's plan and engage in an activity intended to benefit the community. So the whole idea around this is that with this assessment it will work like a project that you will do within your own time or class time over a series of weeks. We deliver this as a course, but this has been put together as a YouTube tutorial for those who may have missed the first day with us on campus. So this YouTube tutorial is basically me describing the assessment. This is for you to understand your expectations, and if you need any further help, all you need to do is reach out to us via schools@itc.co.nz or speak to your teacher and they can get in touch with us and we can help explain areas of the assessment a little bit more or in more detail. So the very important thing to do, regardless if you're doing this as a group or individually, because you do have the choice to do either, is to fill in the first page of the assessment. The assessment document needs you to have your student name. Under where it says class, you put your school name. Sign it or put your initials if you don't have a fancy signature. You don't need to put your student ID. Tutor, you can put either one of our ITC tutors, which might have been Michelle, Sarah, or myself, Mel. And then the date, just the date that you've started doing the assessment. So it's really important to read each task very carefully. I think the key thing here is to first of all decide, are you going to work by yourself? Or are you going to work as a group? Also, I think the best thing would be to have a little think first before you start attempting this project about what your community needs. What does someone or something or a company within your community or the suburb you live in actually need or could benefit from? This has to be something that will be sustainable. So an example of some of the projects that we have done in the past are, for example, some students came up with maybe planting seedlings in a local daycare and helping the actual tiny little tots work out how to plant and create their own little pots using ones that have needed reusing, and then growing their own herbs or their own veggies. Another idea was a beach cleanup, which is quite common, but there is plenty of different rivers, streams, areas in the community that could do with that to provide less pollution for our waterways. It could be anything that you feel that would be using something for another way, or cleaning up something, or creating something that could look after itself. The big key here is not producing more waste or any kind of environmentally damaging items. So I guess the big thing here is that research, and even looking into other sustainable projects that have been done before. You can do that via Google. You can find out what maybe some of the community organisations or charitable trusts need by simply asking the question. Maybe send them an email. Say, what can I do to help in your area? Could you benefit from a veggie garden or a garden? Could you benefit from reusing items that you've got lying around? Research is a really key part of this project. So we in the classroom would normally brainstorm that, ideas of what you could do for projects. So you're going to have to do that in your own time. Once you've completed your research, of course, then you need to, besides filling in the front page of the assessment, focus on the first task, which is task 1.1. Task 1.1 is actually asking you about your research. So it's saying then to what are some of the project ideas that your community may benefit from. So obviously you list down those ideas. So if you were to brainstorm what I've just discussed, that would need to be shown. So there are some ways that you can present this in the project. You can either write the actual ideas down, each of you individually in the project, or you guys can come up with a presentation which would then obviously document all of the answers to these tasks in that presentation. We've seen a PowerPoint through Publisher. We've seen something through Canva. We've seen actually just a document that someone's been writing in as they go, and it's been via a Google Drive. So feel like you can present this in any way to show your creativity. So once you've written down the ideas that you had, it says, what assistance or financial support would you need to make your community project happen? So now you've decided on what you want to do for your project. You need to find out, how much is this going to cost? So you write down what it is you're doing and any costs involved in that. You've got to think about everything, especially if you need to get to somewhere. Transportation costs. It could be actually if you need to buy seedlings or buy anything, or maybe if you're doing a cleanup, you've got to purchase the rubbish bags. So you need to find out everything financially, or anything that's going to cost money, and list those things down. We call it a budget. So please document that as well. Number 3, where do you think the best location would be? So obviously if it's a community centre, or if it's an organisation or a company, that's your location. It may also be another location, because the other work that you've got to do behind the scenes to get this project going might be located somewhere else. So it might be more than one. Or if you're going to clean up somewhere or go and work with some area in your actual community, that would be the location. Number 4, who do you need to contact or work with to ensure you can proceed with your project? Do you need permission first? So if you're going somewhere, it could be maybe you need to contact the council in that area to ask permission. Or maybe it could be if it's on someone's land, you need to ask them permission. It could be if you're working for a company, you need to look on their website to see who the best contact person is. You may not be able to find the first contact person immediately. If we're ever looking for something, you use their general contact email address, send them an email and tell them what you're doing, and then definitely reach out and say who would be the best person to speak to. And then you might find the right contact. Don't forget to document that. That's where you either put it in your PowerPoint reflecting on this question, or you write it into the assessment.
Task 1.2 then is asking you to name your project. This name would be specific to what it's actually achieving. You need to write down your project team, and that means any members that are in your group that you're working with. And then lastly, the community group that you're supporting. Is it a company or an area of the community? So just write down who that is. So now you would have decided how you're going to present your project. So what you need to do though is make sure that you cover the following bullet points. An introduction, that includes the information in the box above. Intended outcome, so write down what you want your end goal to be. Intended benefit, who is actually going to benefit from this? A timeline, which will also mean that you will need to write down what your expectations are, when you're going to do it, and obviously your goals as a group. Budget, how much is it going to cost? Are you going to fundraise or need financial support? Personnel, who's in your team? What are their roles? Is there going to be an individual role for each person, or do you work together and evenly put out the tasks amongst you? Record keeping, so keeping track of anything like summarising when things are starting to happen and achieving your goals and deadlines. So basically like a diary. Constraints, so anything that gets in the way, restrictions that may have put off any areas of your project, do not forget to document those. Communication, publicity. This means how are you going to share this with your community? Do you create a flyer or poster? Have you sent out an email, or have you communicated that verbally? Risk assessment and contingencies. So what could go wrong? Have a think about any alternatives that could be done instead. Have you stumbled across any obstacles along the way? So anything really that happens in this entire journey of your project, don't forget to document it.
It says, please write a summary of what you found out based on your research. Include anyone you spoke to, ways you chose to research, or how you decided on the project that you want to continue with. So you have decided on your project, but you need to write down exactly how you got to this point. Did you use Google? Have you been on Facebook community groups and reached out to them asking what they need? Have you actually emailed someone? I would like to see an example of that. Maybe even you could copy and paste an email trail, which is just copying the emails sent between you and them and popping it into the document or your presentation. Or it could be a screenshot of what you've done. If you're not sure on how to do a screenshot on your device, you can Google it and it will give you very simple instructions of how to do that. The next step of your presentation is that you've decided to document this in some way. So if you've decided to do this as a Google Drive doc, then that's great. Or if you've decided to do it as a PowerPoint, that's also fine. But you need to actually make sure you attach the link so that we can mark this when you're sending through your assessment. Of course, though, this would go via your teacher first. So the teacher would give us access to this so that we can mark your presentation or your project when you've finished. So task 1.3, how did you keep the community and project participants, so that's your other group members, or how you communicated effectively as a team, or the person that you're working with, how did you communicate with them? How do you keep them updated on your project from beginning to end? So people are curious with how you're going with things, or maybe you didn't need to communicate a lot, but you would have had to organize the event or organize the project. So document that, break it down a little bit. So how did you actually keep everybody up to date? Or how did you communicate effectively as a team to ensure your project went as effective as possible? Task 1.4. Share your community project below using images or video links. This must show the final product being used by your community. So this is the actual finished product we want to see. So in 1.4, all you have to do is either insert the link to your presentation, or if you've documented it visually, so you've taken pictures, then put those images in your presentation or just attach those images to your assessment. We need proof that you've actually physically done this project. Proof is by maybe a quick video or maybe even taking some snapshots along the way. So task 1.5. Once you've done your project, you need to look back on it. It's called an evaluation. Evaluating what you've done is a way of you being able to improve and do better next time, or maybe it means that you can do other projects similar because there's a need for it now. So what we want you to do is create a survey. You can create a survey using Google Docs, which is by going to the menu and actually clicking on forms. This is an example of what this looks like here. Another idea of actually creating a form, you can use Microsoft Forms. So if you have access to Microsoft Outlook or something like this, and you have a login for that, you can create a really neat survey with Microsoft Forms. This is an example of a Microsoft form. Another useful survey could actually be physically sending out survey questions. The beauty of using Google Docs or maybe Microsoft Forms is that it actually gets all of the information into one area for you, so you don't have to get all these physical paper pieces back and record all of the answers and trying to work it out. So if you wish to do it more paper-based, then that's fine, but we need to see some sort of evaluation. Now, what we've done is we've actually given you some questions here to help you with your evaluation. Those questions are: explain what your outcome was and ask, do you feel the outcome was achieved? Do you feel like that actually helped in some way in your community? How did this project directly benefit our community? So you would ask the question, how has this made things better for you in your company? Or how has this made the environment better? Do you have any comments to add in addition to the answers of the above questions? The thing with a survey is to keep it brief. The briefer it is, the more attractive it is for people to fill it in, because people are busy. So having some very direct, simple questions would be best. So if you've actually chosen to do a survey through Google Docs or Microsoft Forms, we would be appreciative of that link of your actual survey and of course that summary, which you can actually draw from the menu on the survey itself. So if you've used Google Docs, it will come through to you through Google Drive, and if you've used Microsoft Office Forms, it will be with, it says responses up the top.
Thanks for participating in our ecotourism unit. Because of you, more wonderful sustainable projects are happening in your community. Don't forget, if you need more help, email schools@itc.co.nz.